back with more of this book. We're not even in half of the book, but like I said in the description box, if you miss this first part of the book, it's a 3 hour video of me reading straight all these pages. Um, yeah, so I'm starting where I left off at to be continued, and I hope you guys enjoy. Um, yeah, y'all. So let's get into it. So yeah, we currently at the part where the lawyer wrote a letter for them, for the press, to say what to say to the press about the son and all that good stuff. So that's what we about to read here. So let's get into it. You guys enjoy and sit back and relax, get your popcorn, chips, whatever, and yeah. I appreciate anybody that stopped through, no matter how long you stay. Whether if you a subby or a newbie. If you a subby, what's up, gang? And if you a newbie, welcome to Big Nique TV. And I'm gonna make y'all, make me your favorite YouTuber. But anyway, so yeah, and if you couldn't tell, my energy is a little bit down, cause yeah, I called this lady and basically she gave me the runaround about the job or whatever. So I pretty much don't have it anymore, I guess. Oh, I don't know. But and it's hard to find a job. So but here I am getting my piece with you guys, YouTube, and hopefully the sooner I go up, I can make YouTube a full-time job and I can start recording off my phone and with an actual camera and things and have the whole 9 yards, the whole setup. So here we go. Cause yeah, fuck a 9 to 5. It's fucking irritating. But yeah, y'all. Alright, sit back and listen now. Okay. I already know when the end will be. Okay, I'm fixing the camera so y'all can see me. And I switched my area or whatnot. So yeah. Well, let's get into this. Hi Jack. I feel it's necessary to give you an update on the goings on here in Rapids. In Grand Rapids. I'm not sure. Alright. I'm not sure how much of this has already reached you. I'm guessing it hasn't yet. I haven't missed any emails from you, and I know you will have at hold up, and I know you would have at the very least done that, but it will soon, and I wanted to have the chance to tell you myself. Earlier this week, my son was involved in a bank robbery and several people were killed. Allison and I found out a few days after the fact that Alex was involved. When his body was discovered, everything has been sort of a whirl whirlwind since then. I'm not sure I even would have remembered to give you a heads up if my lawyer hadn't mentioned that I I don't too. I don't know. As I think you know, my son and I were not very close, but this has still been devastating, as I'm sure you can imagine. The worst part, even worse than Alex's death, is that he could be something like this at all. I mean, that is that he could do, my bad, that he could do something like this at all. My family is going to issue a dress release. I say dress. I'm impressed. My family is going to issue a press release later this afternoon. If you could direct any contact that comes your way to my lawyer, I'll add his I'll add his contact info below. That would be great. If there are other issues involving us continuing to work together after this, I totally understand. And please don't feel that you guys are doing anything wrong if that's the route you have to take. If you have any questions, I will answer them as I am best. Answer them as I am best able. Okay. Thanks, Will. So that was a letter that I just wrote. I mean that that was a letter I just read. See, my peace is being disturbed, but we're gonna try to continue this, without fucking up too much. Will started. Um, Will stared at the but hastily dressed. What? I don't know. Then painstakingly corrected email before moving the moose to. I mean, before moving the mouse. Before moving the mouse to send and clicking the message off to settle. I'm in Seattle. The message was a nice and plain. The message was as nice and plain as he was able to make it, and Jack was a great friend who had gone to bed for him on more than occasion. Okay, but Will was still worried what what his company and his company's reaction might be. He stared for a while at the cheap wood paling on the floors, paneling. Yeah, the cheap wood paneling on the floors, and then his eyes fell to Isaac's stuffed pile on the old sofa. He kept in the office and hold up. He kept in the office and it all looped around to him again. He wasn't going to wake up from this awful dream. His cell phone ringing break his hold up. His cell phone ringing break his trance. Expecting to see another unknown number, Will was startled to see a 206 area code Seattle. Hello, Will. Jesus, buddy. You know there are some times when you just pick up. Hold up. What? You know there are some times when you just pick up a fucking phone and call, right? Thanks, Jack. Are you doing okay? How's Allison? I'm okay. She's doing okay, I think. It's been hard to tell. She keeps blaming herself for everything. That's hard to watch. That's understandable, I guess, of course. It's not either it's not either of your faults. Right? But it's natural to feel that way. I'm sorry, I got a lot on my mind and I'm trying to get this content out well. I'm very irritated. Okay, do you have a time for the do you have time for the funeral set? I don't think we're going to have one. My lawyer thinks I'm in for a shitstorm either way. That not that it really matters. Not that it really matters much. We had planned for cremation already anyways. Got a jump on that at least. That's a good thing, right? Bastards that shot bastards that shot him in the head. They they burned his body. Will, do you not sound like you're hold up, what? Oh shit, Will. You do not sound like you're doing okay. Sit down on the floor if you have to. All right, are you sitting? I'm serious about this. If I hear the phone drop, I'm hanging up and calling 911. Are you okay home? I mean, are you at home? My bad. Are you at home? Jack, relax. I'm sitting at my desk. I was letting my emotions get the best of me. I'm fine now. Maybe you should try grabbing a drink, but not alone. You've got enough friends. Go grab a beer, but don't sit alone with your thoughts. No, I haven't been drinking. I think that's for the best. Most of the time, I'd agree. This is a little different. I'll run it. I'll run it by Allison. Is there anything I can do? If there was a funeral, I know we would send flowers, I can fly in, but I'm guessing you want to be with your family. I appreciate I appreciate that, Jack, but yeah, we're kind of hunk what hunkered. I don't know, hunkered. We're kind of hunkered, whatever the fuck that means. All right, hunkered down. There's nothing you can do, no matter for. I mean, shit. I said no matter. Damn. Hold on. Okay, hold on. There's nothing you can do. No need for the flowers either. It's going to be a very small get together. And I think I'm going to discourage that sort of thing as much as possible. Got it, Will. I'd like to respect your privacy, but part of me thinks folks around here should know, especially Terry. She and I are the two people most likely for the media to contact. It's fine if you tell the office. I don't want everyone to think I'm some murderer raising freak, but dead air for a beat. Then Jesus will. No one no one who knows you is going to think that. And we all know you pretty well. Even the people here that only know you through your books. Thanks, Jack. I really appreciate that. I did have one more question though. I mentioned it early. I mentioned it near the end of the email, and no, Will, for God's sake, we're not going to drop you for something like this. Something that's not your fault. Don't even think about that. Thanks, Jack. It's good to hear the words. Absolutely. We might need to delay the next the next book a little bit is all. It won't do it won't do you any good to have this be the only thing people think of when you're mentioned as an author. Thanks. I know I know it should be the late the I know it should be the least of worries, I have been I have been thinking about that a lot. Well, I think that's one thing you don't need to that I think that's one thing you don't need to think about beyond what I've beyond what I've said. I'll talk to Terry, maybe even to Bruce, the VP, to be sure. We even need to have a delay on your next book. To be honest, Jack, a delay isn't a bad idea either way. After the last manuscript was on no go, I've been I've been bone dry in the idea department. I think I mean I feel like I put everything that I had into it. So you wrote a book and it didn't happen. Big deal. All All that really matters is the next one, and then the one after that. I'm not going to give you a pep talk because you I don't think you need one. But bottom line, writers write, so write. Jack, I can't say how much I appreciate this. If you need anything, and I'm serious, anything, let me know. And I'll do what I can. I'll talk to Terry later and see what she has to say about everything. And on behalf of everyone here, I'm really sorry about what happened to your son. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon. Will hung up the phone, shut off the light in the basement, and trotted back upstairs to the kitchen. For immediate release, we are deeply sorry for the actions of our son Alex and regret his role in the crimes committed at Lake Michigan Credit Union Brand Branch 421 on February 18, 2013. It is our deepest wish that the men who committed these crimes with him be brought to justice and that their victims can take some solace in their punishment. We we do not wish to speak further with the media at this time and appreciate your respect while our family grieves. Further inquiries can be made through our attorney, Lou Setchell, uh, of Lou and Associates. Um, Nobody know you. Sincerely, William and Allison Daniels. The media released that had drawn up Lou had drawn up was perfect. Lou sent it off from the kitchen table, and the thought that the constant media presence soon be could soon be gone. Its appetite stated, but I mean, said it was was welcome news indeed. Well, that's done, said Lou. Anything else I can do for you today? I don't think so, Lou, Allison said. And to Will, her voice had a strength that it hadn't before. We're moving forward, he thought. At hold up. We're moving forward, he thought as she went on. Is there anything else that we could be careful about? Stay stay the course, stay the course, said Lou. Don't watch TV. Avoid the web aside from email, of course, and keep that thick skin on. You're not out of the woods yet. Quite the contrary. In fact, let me know the second the police are willing to release the body, and I'll get my man on it. Will any interactions you have with the fuzz that include more than a yes or no question should hold up more than a yes or no question should make you prick your ears up. I highly doubt that they'll try anything, but you never know with a cop. They want a name to put on this, and it doesn't matter who it is, as long as the crime sticks to the name. Thanks, Lou, said Will, and the two shook hands over the table. That night, Will sat up in bed next to Allison. They were both pretending to read the books they'd been working through up until their lives had been thrown into a blender that was set to destroy. Will found himself Will found himself staring at his wife, and after a few minutes of that, she noticed, turning to him to say, "What is it?" "It was a really special thing you did for Alex," he said. "You took a risk with me. You you raised that boy basically on your own. I love you for so many reasons, but I think that's the one that stands out above everything else. You took Alex and me and made a little family despite my best efforts to fuck it up. I'm never going to be able to pay you back for that." Will could feel his eyes welling with tears, and he shook the sad thoughts of his young son and beautiful Allison from his mind. He'd done everything he could to destroy what they had, and she'd just kept chugging chugging right along, making them hold up, making them work, making the family work, struggling far, struggling far harder than he had to make his son into a man. "Will is fine," Allison said. "There's with being emotional. Probably better to just let all of that stuff out. You know that? What else could you write? Like, hold on, I mean, yeah, how else could you write like you do?" We'll just have to keep we we just have to keep going. We need to get Alex from the police, give him a proper send off, and remember the good things in his life, because he never saw redemption doesn't mean that we can't find redemption for him. We've got your writing. you've got your writing, and I'm going to find something for me, for myself, whatever it takes to fill this hole in my chest and replace it with something good. I needed to make his life have purpose. Hold on. I needed to make his I need it. Yeah, I'm right. I'm saying it right. I need it to make his life have purpose so I can say in 20 years I never would have gotten gotten this good gotten this good done if my what? Gotten this good done if my son hadn't had such a stupid death. Does that make sense? Absolutely, said Will. Said Will, pulling her to him. He wanted her to find that peace. She deserved it. He wanted to, oh shit, no, hold up. He wanted it for himself too, but he couldn't even see it from the dark place he was living in. Peace, at least right now, seemed the least likely option for him. It's all I've been thinking about, she said to his chest. It's the only thing that keeps the bad stuff away. Okay, sort of like being little and knowing that as long as I had my stuffed bunny, Doug, that nothing bad was going to happen to me. Just like how Doug kept the monsters away, the good thoughts are doing a number on the bad ones. She pulled back and smiled at him then, and and it was all he could do to what stifle a sob of joy that this wonderful woman had seen through his dark side for all these years and was still fighting to make a good life with him. At the same time, though, I truly, uh, at the same time, though, a truly black thought urged on by the black pool of rage still boiling in his stomach, took root. For the first time, Will had an idea about justice that didn't involve the police. His wife then asked if she'd mind if he went to talk with Isaac. Ugh. If he went to talk with Isaac for a bit. I think that sounds great, she said. You guys should take advantage of him being here, catch up. I don't know what it is with you two. You aren't estranged. Exact actually. Exactly. You aren't estranged exactly, but it's like you go out of your way to avoid contact with each other. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is either. It's all it's all kinked up. It's like being part it's like being apart so much eats at us. And being being together makes us resent all the time apart, and then we just do it all again. She blinked at him, then they both laughed. Well, that that is messed up, she said. Whatever it is, you have my blessing. And and tell Isaac hello for me. Yes, ma'am. As Will chambered out bed, I said chambered. As Will clambered out bed, she said, "One last thing, Will. If he has if he has a bottle, you stay out of it, okay?" The words nearly broke his heart, and he said yes. Some demons never get all the way gone, no matter how many stuffed bunnies we line our beds with. Yeah. Okay. Will stood at the top of the basement steps. His feet were cold and he was already regretting bringing not bringing socks. His good slippers were downstairs under his writing desk. So at least the cold feet issue would be settled in a minute. Isaac, you awake? Wide awake. I'm coming down. Isaac grinned. What? Isaac grunted at that, and Will began to make his way down the stairs. His frozen feet feeling stupid on the wooden steps, which were covered only in the middle, and they're only with hold up. Yeah, and they're only with very cheap and thin carpeting. When Will arrived at the bottom of the steps, he found Isaac sitting at his desk, browsing browsing the web on his computer and wearing his slippers. Will settled onto the couch next to Isaac's stuff. Is his bro if 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 his brother was bothered by the intrusion, he didn't show it. He just kept browsing on Will's computer and was currently looking at the Yahoo Sports page. "I need to talk to you about something," Will said, "and I think it's important that you know that no matter what you say, I'm going through with this." He about to do some crazy shit, y'all. If you say that to a motherfucker, you about to do some crazy shit. Isaac turned wearily from the computer and looked at his brother. "I have a bad feeling about this." "So do I." Isaac kind leaned back in the chair and gave the computer one last look. "You know March Madness starts soon. I don't watch I don't watch college sports except for hockey except for hockey sometimes. I'm not worried about what you watch. There's money to be made on state this year." "Spit it out." "I think we need to do something for Alex." "You mean like more than the cops are doing?" Isaac looked at him for a long moment. "I think that's a horrible idea. I want to go talk to Jason Wixom." Jason Wickham, Isaac said, then began shaking his head back and forth. No way, Will. No fucking way. That's beyond just a bad idea. That's fucking suicide. You might be able to get us information that the cop he might be able to get us information that the cops can't. Yeah, he might. He also might beat the shit out of you, put a bullet in your eye, pull out all of your teeth, cut off your hands, and bury you in pits of quicklime out by door. Uh, mm. He was never that bad. You ran with a bad bunch, and he was worst of the lot. Not to mention your old partner Wexham just might still harbor a little bit of grudge about you taking that unexplained vacation day and then getting off scot free while he went to go sit in Jackson for 5 years. Amazing to me you never heard from him when he got out. To clear up that little question, that's the sort of thing that would make anyone curious, if not a little angry, much less a guy like like Jason. Besides, how how in the hell would you even go about finding him? I know where he works, Will said. I heard in the bar he owns a tattoo shop on the west side of town, and as for him not coming after me, by the time he got out, I had a 5-year old son, and he he'd had enough of being locked up. All that time must have made asking why I stayed home and watched TV instead of going to jail with him seem less important. Okay, so you can find him, great. But I guarantee he know you worked in a bar, just like you knew about him tattooing. If he wanted to be buddies, why wouldn't he have come by and bent your ear while you serve him a few pints of founders? Pints of founders. Hmm. I don't really care why he didn't come by or what he thinks about me and why I might have stayed away that day. I'm going to talk to him. I'm asking if you'll come with me, and that's it. As much as I appreciate your advice, that's not what I need right now. Unless you have criminal ties still, and we both know that you don't. Jason is only per- Jason is the only person who know with a chance to help us. What are you what are you going to tell Ali that's where that we're going grocery shopping? She'll believe that. She knows I don't lie to her anymore. So you're going to break that trust by lying again. It's it's not like I have a choice. spot. They took Isaac. Alright, my bad, y'all. His fingers kept finding the Sig Sauer and and in its shoulder holster, finding the gun hold. I said finding, feeling the gun over and over again to be sure it was there, and once res- once reassured, repeating the action again. He was nervous in an indescribable way. Yeah, I was. Yeah, niggas, I said indescribable, right? I got my chips here. I'm getting hungry. I don't know what's for dinner, so I'm eating chips. Mm. He was nervous in an indescribable way, as though his whole life had somehow led to this moment, but I mean, his whole life led to this moment, and it still might end up being meaningless. Allison had said little about them leaving, other than other than to put other than to help put together a list of groceries they needed. And they did need food, even eating as little as they had been. Three adults were churned through what he and Allison had picked up the week before. The week before, before list listen list in hand is is discreetly hostile hosted holstered pistol under his jacket. Will had Will had ventured with his brother into the snow aboard Isaac's Toyota Camry. I think I think we should wait to get groceries, Will said. If something bad happens, it'll be a waste of money to have gotten them first. Isaac gave a laugh like a cough. That's very thrifty thinking. You you trying to get me to turn the car around? No. I just think we should go talk to Jason first. You know, just just get it over with. We're both just we're both just going to be on edge until we do it. I'm a wreck. Yeah, I notice. You need to control it with that gun shit. If if Win Wicks Winston hold up. What I said his name was? Alright, y'all. If Wixom is like he used to be, he'll have you dead before you unzip your coat to get that thing out. Will scroll at his brother. I'm not planning on trying to get the drop on him. This is just insurance. And it's not to get oh shit, I was about to read the same sentence again, my bad. And it's not like we're going to walk in and get frisky. He's running a business and we're going to go in and ask for a few minutes of his time. Dropping shit. He'll either oblige, oblige us. I think I did that right. Or tell us to get the fuck out. And if he does that, and if he does the latter, then I'll plead our case. Uh, oh, the gun is in case he tries to do something else, which, yeah, with a guy like Jason, is a possibility. I don't want to have to use it, but better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Yeah, and better to not get caught with it when you're already dealing with someone who hates you. He sees that gun, he'll know we're not only I mean he'll know we're not all smiles. Leaving I'm not leaving it in the car. I don't want you to, said Isaac as he pulled the Toyota off the highway. I'm just being honest with you. You if you need to use it, you need you need to just use it. Not think about it. Isaac parked the car in front of the shop. The building was old, but not as decrepit, crypt, cryptic. I don't know. As the rest of the neighborhood, which appeared to be doing brick, I mean, brisk business in liquor sales, massage, hold up, massage work done by American girls, the sale of the sale of cheap but not chain fast food. The the tattoo shop was painted blue, and the most recent coat looked like it probably should have been scraped and redone. About 2 years prior, the window was oh, the window was full of a mixture of neon signs, flyers, and advertisements. And advertising. The neon said things like piercing $25 or tattoo, but more promising was open. But most promising was open. Will closed the door on the Camry, walked walked around the vehicle, and stepping ahead of his brother, opened the door to the shop. A bell chimed with the doors. I mean, a bell chimed with the door, and though and and though Will didn't jump, the noise made him tense. There was there was God damn. There was a glass countertop full of jewelry directly in front of him, and he directly in front of him, and behind that was a skinny girl whose arms looked as though they'd seen a few practice sessions. She had the grayish uh, pallor that tends to suggest a history with either heroin or time served, if not both. There was a what skirt, skirt, I don't know, tattooed on her throat, and Will stared at the dancing bug as she said, "Can I help you with something?" There was no mistaking the irritation in her voice. It wasn't like Will and Isaac were dressed well. And the car wasn't a showpiece by any means, but still, it was obvious this wasn't a world hold up, they belonged to anymore. If they ever had, if they ever had, this is what happens if you keep fucking up, and none of you, and none of your friends, shoots you, thought Will, smelling that, smiling at, I said smelling, smiling at the girl, he said, "We're here to talk to Jason." "Yeah. Do you have an appointment?" "No. I'm an old friend." "Acquaintance," interjected Isaac. "We know him a long time ago." "It's been a while." She doesn't care enough to respond beyond sliding off her stool and walking into the back. The stereo clicked on, playing AC/DC, and the girl returned a couple minutes later. Sorry, no dice. He says he's busy. Tell me, tell me Will Daniels is here to talk to him. Tell him Will Daniels is here to talk to him. She signed. Is that name going to mean anything to him? Cause he gets mad pretty easy and he's got a bad hangover. Might might be might be you want to might be you want to make an appointment, hope for the best. Tell him Will Daniels is here to talk to him. She smirked at him. If that's your hard look, you might want to work on getting a new one. I'm going to ask one more time, and when I come back and tell you he said to fuck off, you two are going to fuck off. She disappeared into the back of the store again and was back faster. And was back faster this time. Jason says to come on back. She was smiling, and his stomach dropped to his feet. Will's bravery, I mean, Will's Will's bravado. Hmm, I don't know why the fuck I said bravery. I said young. Um, um, oh, had been stripped clean by her sil- sil- sizzling smile, and the pistol under his coat may as well have been back at the house for all the good it would do him. Should be, I mean, should, it would do him should he fumble to retrieve it. She led them back a short hallway that had a door on either side of it and another one at the end. They walked through the door on the right, and the girl left them in the room, closing the door behind her as she left. Sitting on a stool was Jason. Next to him, on a stool cart, were a pair of tattoo guns, and next to them was a different kind of gun, a revolver. Will Will stared at it with a lump in his throat before turning his attention back to Jason. His old friend had a stomach that was stretching his shirt, the kind of belly earned by cheap food and cheaper booze. He had on an American flag bandana, and coming out of the bottom of the back on the back of it was a gray braid that that laid over his right shoulder and hanging almost to his belly. His arms, hands, and neck were covered in tattoos, gray ones that looked like the kind from prison, and colored ones that looked like the kind that weren't. His ears bore two large blah. His ears bore two large hoops, silver and thick as pencils. Right? Which, I mean, thick as pencils, each holding silver beads on its center. Jason did not stand when they entered, nor did he offer them a seat. Will Dames, he said, and is that your brother with you, older, right? I don't recognize you, but the same family is in both faces. Will thought about that statement. His eyes poured over Jason's familiar and yet foreign face. Yeah, said Isaac. I'm his brother. He extended a hand and said, Names, names, and he paused. I don't give a, I don't give a ruddy fuck what your name is, said Jason. I'm curious about why in the fuck you're here. And once I figure out why, I'm going to run you out of my fucking shop. Alright? I have a feeling I'm going to be amazed for about 30 seconds tops. He turned his attention back to Will. Come on, William. Spit it out, author boy. Why are you why are you slumming with your older buddy? I mean with your old buddy. Will was taken back. Jason had Jason had obviously made some effort to follow his life. His books had sold well, but not that well. Yet Jason knew enough to know he'd published them under William Daniels, not Will. Will Will collected himself as best he was able and got on with it. I'm here to talk to you about my son. Bad start, Will. I'm already bored. My son was killed a little less than a week ago after being involved in a bank robbery, all right? I think I know the one, said Jason, who winked at him. Better, much better start. I'm not, now I'm interested. He was killed in an abandoned barn, shot in the head, and then burned to death with some of the evidence. No honor among thieves, right, Will? That's that's really new there. Just how is it like when I got pinned up and you walked? Just how is it? It there ah, there hold up. There it was. I wasn't there when you got busted. You were there enough other times, Jason growled, and you were expecting, and we were expecting you that night, waited for you, even until I said we needed to get on with it. I was tired of doing that stuff, just dumb luck. I wasn't there. Nothing more. Dumb luck. It was all Will could do to hold the man's gaze, but he knew he damn well he but he damn well what he damn well better. What the fuck? Okay. Lucky you. You might be the luckiest fucker I know, William. Look, said Will, I'm here to ask you to help me find the men who killed my son. There followed a long moment in which Will fell. In which Will fell into the blackness of the others. Of the other man's eyes and spun down and down in it. It was fine with him. It matched his own blackness, and he found he didn't mind the company. It was Jason who pulled out first. Will, listen to me, he said, and then get the fuck out of here. Even if I could help you find the men who killed your son, I wouldn't. You know, you know why? Because you're not the type for that kind of work. I mean, really. What are you what are you going to do? Ask them for a fucking apology? I can see you've got a gun in your shirt right now, and it's just fucking ridiculous on you. You need to get the fuck out of here and forget this and forget that this conversation ever happened. All right, just take your brother and go back to your little house. Maybe add this to one of your stories and tell your faggot writer friends about how involved you get in hold up, about how involved you get in your writing. Either the police will catch them or not. They probably won't. And that'll be that. I need you to help me find the men who killed my son, said Will. Will said. And you're going to do it. Jason eyebrow Jason's eyebrows lift. Will, he said, this is no fucking fun. This is no longer funny. Do you understand? I can be a nice enough guy under the right circumstances, but this ain't them. And you ain't a friend. Last time, last chance. Get the fuck out. You're going to help me find the men who killed my son, said Will. And as he spoke the words, Jason stood from his stool, a swan of baseball bat, a swan of baseball bat appearing in his right hand like a magic stick. Isaac was grabbing Will's shoulder, but Will continued, "You're going to help me find them because my son could just as easily have had your blood in him as mine." Hold up. Hold up, what? But hold up. You're going to help me you're going to help me find them because my son could just as easily have had your blood in him as mine. I don't fucking know. What the fuck did you just say? Jason said. The color hadn't quite drained from his face, but all the deadly ease in it had disappeared. The fuck? Will? I bet y'all. The fuck? Will? It was Isaac beside him. Will hadn't thought about him in what felt like an hour. What in the hell are you talking about? Jason sat back in his stool and Will grabbed a folding chair, leaning against the wall, unfolded it and sat. Isaac looking confused, finally decided to do the same. I said that my son Alex could just as easily be your blood as mine. Explain. And if you're fucking with me, this is going to be a lot worse. I can take getting fucked with a little, but not like that, and definitely not from you. Not ever. You used to go you used to go around with Patty Edwards, right? Yeah. Before I got set up, I fucked her here and there. Never my never my squeeze, but a side piece. Yeah, I used to go around with her too. As far as I know, though, we were it far. Ooh, I mean, as far as I know, we were it. Fire and ice or something like that. She wanted the guy who seemed like he might take it out of he might he might make it out of life, and the dude who would kick it and the dude who would kick in the door. I used to think I used to think I was running a scam on her, being with her and then other chicks with when she wasn't around. So did I, said Jason. But she had her own shit going on too, huh? Exactly. She was running she was running her own little show, but like I said, we were it. And Patty's your son's mother. Jason said, how come I didn't know that? You were in the can and when you got out, she was gone. Jason nodded, taking it in. And when I got out, you had a kid you were raising. I guess I did know that. But I guess I did know that, not that I gave a shit. By then, you were dead to me. And lucky, lucky you weren't dead to you, too. Right? Okay. He shook his head. Patty's kid fucked me around. Why is this a surprise to me, too? Isaac asked. But Will ignored his brother. Yep, Patty was his deadbeat mom. She skipped town 3 days after having him, and I never heard from her again. She got beat to death in a truck stop parking lot, Jason said, working as a lot lizard. Ended up not agreeing with her. How long ago? Will asked. How could I not know about this? That's ancient history, buddy. She died at least 10 years ago, cracked out at least one other kid. Far as I know, I got to admit that that part didn't interest me too much. Didn't make much of a splash though, at least not here in South Dakota. She was she was what most people refer to as number 15, as in the 15th hooker to get skull fucked by some asshole blowing through town. Last I checked, they still hadn't caught the guy. Jesus Christ. I don't figure they looking for him. Hold up. I don't figure they're looking they're looking at him for it, but I'll pass the word along if I happen if I happen to cross the right people. Of course, Jason made a cigarette appear from a pack on the bottom shelf of his cart and lit it with a match he ignited on the bottom of an what engineer boot. Oh, so anyways, let's hear the rest of it. Patty came to Hold up. Patty came to my mom, dropped off the kid in her left in oh dropped the kid dropped off the kid in her lap and skipped town. I was out drinking, wondering what the fuck was ever going to happen with my shitty life. When I came home, boom, time to play house. And I was sitting and steer. Exactly. Patty told my mother the story about the kid either. Hold on, what? Patty told my mother the story about the kid either being yours or mine too. My mother's the only one besides me will us now, I suppose, that ever that ever knew the truth. Do you have a picture? Will took his phone from his pocket slowly as not to alarm Jason and turned it on. He went to the pictures app and a smiling found one of a smiling Alex from nearly 10 years ago, dressed in a bas- dressed in a baseball uniform. Will gave the picture a look, wondering not for the last time just what in the hell had gone wrong with his boy, and handed the phone to Jason. Cute little fucker. Takes after his mother, to be honest. I don't see a bit of either one of us on his mug. Yeah, I never did either. I've lost more than one night thinking about it though. He was a tough kid to raise. I can tell you, damn near put my wife the the loony bin between my drinking and his wild streak. She's had some hard times. Hard times make hard people. So, how long did your son get hooked up? What? How long did? How long? So how did your son get hooked up with such a rotten bunch? My memory is a little fuzzy when it comes to the details of the robbery, but I do know a bunch of people got toe tags over it. Over it. Yes, Alex killed one of them. I never thought he had that in him. I know I never did. He didn't kill Alex. I mean, not he didn't kill Alex. I mean, Alex didn't kill nobody. Because it said Alex went to his knees and he was putting the money in the bag. The the commotion, the chaos was from the crazy friend with the revolver. Or I mean not the revolver. The the chaos was coming from the crazy friend which was only one person killed all them people. Cause two of them was in the vault, right? So and Alex was one of them in the vault getting the money. But of course he ain't found out yet that he didn't kill nobody, but he got killed because of a question he asked. Which that shit was in a blink of an eye. Boom. They said half his face was gone. Cause it was a pistol shotgun. Shit is crazy. Oh god, I'm wasting shit on my shits. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know I never did. Jason shrugged. Well, maybe an apple did it. Well, maybe an apple don't have to be close to a tree to still fall from a branch. What do you mean? If the kid had my blood, could explain a lot about his mean streak. I was never much of one to listen to reason, and I've done, and I've done some things my, in, in my time when I was forced to. The the two of them were quiet for a long minute, staring off at nothing. Will pulled out pulled out of it first. Will you you help us find will you help us find out who did this? Jason scrolled at him, then sunk back into himself again. When he came out of it this time, he was nodding. Yeah, I know I'm going to, I know I'm going to regret it, but I'll help. Just keep it, just keep in mind the answers you get may not be the answers you want. Chances are this is going to end with us popping this chances are this is going to end with us uh with what with us popping a couple of hopheads. Likely won't be much different than shooting a rabid pooch. mm, I gotta sneeze. Whew. Excuse me, y'all. Thank you, whatever. Alright. What's your number? What's your number? Will told him, and Jason punched it into his phone. Listen, if I have any news worth sharing, I'm going to call you from a burner cell phone. A thorough a throwaway. Hold up. I'm going to call you from a burner cell phone, a throwaway. I'll tell you we need I'll tell you we need to meet, and we're going to get together at Brewery at some at I mean Founders Brewery that same day at 9 p.m. Don't ask me what I found or nothing else or anything else. Sorry. If I if I call you from the tattoo shop phone ends in 5092, that means I either found nothing or opened a wormhole too deep for us to do anything about. That that sound alright with you? Sounds fine, thanks. I'm not going to say it's no problem, but I'm glad you got a hold of me, whether that kid was my blood or not doesn't matter. I'll I'll do this for Patty. Isaac's hands were white on the wheel of the Camry. The weather had to be part of it. blowing snow was turning into a full-on blizzard, and the visible was and the visibility was extremely low. Still, the camera handled in a sure-footed way as they uh meandered, I don't know, onto the highway where traffic was chugging along at a brisk 30 miles per hour. That's very slow. But you were, I mean, were you going, were you ever going to tell me? Isaac asked. Did anyone know besides mom? No, I was never going to tell you because it didn't matter to me. He was my son, whether he was my blood or not. That's why I never did a paternity test, and that's why I still wouldn't do one now. I don't need blood to tell me about family or about being a father to a little boy that was nothing. I was just a kid with when Patty left him with us. He he made me grow up a lot. Not to say I wasn't still a fuck up, but I was less I was less of one. He looked away. I guess less wasn't good enough for Alex. He said to the passenger side window, "Do you really believe that if Jason is his blood father, that maybe that's why Alex took the thing to the next level?" Isaac asked. "Or do you think it's just some bizarre coincidence?" Will shrugged. Isaac Isaac nodded to himself, looking it working it over in his head. "I guess I've never believed in genetics like that it would make someone more likely to commit murder or other violent crimes, but this might be changing my mind a little bit. Are you sure you don't want to get a paternity test? Listen, I just know that someone killed my son and I want to know why. The rest of the testing, the blood relations, genetics, none of it matters to me. I never would have told Jason about this when Alex was alive, and never would have after he was dead unless I had to. I think I made the right decision. What if Jason finds fuck a big as a big ass pickup head fishtailed around them? These guys these roads suck, and that guy is doing like 50. Isaac shook his head, then settled down and went back to what he'd started. So what if Jason finds out who did this, gets an address or something? I've I've been thinking a lot about that, and I keep coming back to the same thing. If I find out who killed my son and it wasn't for a damn good reason, I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill him. It would just need I mean it oh y'all. I'm sorry y'all. Excuse me. It would just need doing. If the cops can't catch these guys, they'll do it again and someone else will get hurt. Will felt Isaac looking at him but kept his eyes straight ahead. That's pretty heavy, Will. I want to say I'll see this through with you, but I'm not sure that I can. I mean, I have a life too, a wife and my prior I mean and my and my priorities are old, but I don't know. But when they can show a history of criminal behavior and you've got shit on your record, that's not good. You can you can do what you want. I asked you to come along so I had backup with Jason. But if you don't feel like seeing this through is right for you, I I understand. It would be a lot to ask, especially of a brother who I basically ignore and who basically ignores me. Will grinned. It's a it's a lot to ask of anybody. Shit, said Isaac. We still have to get groceries. The storm had gotten worse, and the time they spent in the store with the parking lot slush and ice gumming its wheels. The cart was reduced to a very awkward sleigh when they finally reached the car. They threw the groceries into the trunk. Yeah, the trunk. Any care for the condition of bread or eggs got beaten out of them by a desperate desire to escape the deluge, I don't know, of heavy, wet snow. Trunk loaded, cart placed in the corral. They drove. They drove inside. I meant. They dove. They they dove. They dove. I don't know. They dove inside, and Isaac began to slowly steer them from the parking lot. The ringing of wheels phone broke the brothers' concentrated silence, and Will saw that it was Allison. Hey, babe, he said, we're on our way. Come up with something else you need us to get. No. How how are the roads? Allison's voice was muffled, riddled, riddled, riddled with static, really bad. Well, don't hurry home, but get here. The news just said the mall was closed. That means that means it that's it's what that means that's it's official. um Graduated official it's officially I mean it's officially graduated to really nasty out. I believe it. This is like a 2011. I mean, what? Oh yeah. Yeah. This is like
2011 all over again. Don't even say that, mister. Don't. That was horrible. We've got enough on our plate without a full blown blizzard. Yeah, yeah, well, I think that's what we've got. I'm going to let you go. We'll see you soon, only probably not too soon. Tell your brother to drive safe. No need he is. Tell him for me. Will hung up the phone. She says not to kill us. Check. The wind, the wind was moving the snow fast enough that they could see drifts appearing out of nowhere, using a tree or the side of a building to take root and form into massive piles. You're you doing okay, Will X? I'm still driving. I mean, with everything else. No, Will, not really. Sorry for that. But I'm being honest. I said I'd understand if you didn't want to go on from here. He gave his head a shake. I'm not I'm not taking I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you signing on. I'm talking about you signing on with Jason. He should have been tried. Hold up. He should have been tried for rape in that last B&E when he got busted. Remember? Yeah, and what happened there? He never got charged with it. You're missing the point. The girl refused to testify, and there wasn't enough evidence behind what she had told. Wasn't enough evidence beyond beyond what she told the police initially. It never occurred to you that he might have threatened her family? No, I don't. I didn't exactly follow what happened to him, to any of them. I had no, I had my own life to worry about, and then I had Alex. In front of them, in front of them, the wind shoved a GMC Denali, Denali right off of the road. The big The big truck was catching enough wind on its large frame when on its on its large frame that its four-wheel drive had had ceased to matter, and the thing slid horizontally off the highway as though moved by a god. Jesus, Will said, "Did you see that? That's nuts. They're going to be waiting for a wreck for a while too. Anyways, though, like I was saying, that's a reason Jason served the maximum possible sentence for that B&E, and his time had nothing to do with a little smash and grab. He had a 16-year-old girl blow him, and when it came down to her word against his, she decided not to talk. None of that matters now. He did his time, and he's the only person who can help me find out who hurt Alex. If that gets a little blood under my fingernails, then so be it. Alex, I mean, um, what's his name? Isaac. Isaac shook his head and went back to watching the road. Victims were pulled over and stuck on roadside culverts as they traveled. When the two brothers moved, when the two brothers pulled off the highway, they both let out signs of relief. Hmm. I'll probably read like a little. This probably I'm gonna read a couple more pages of the rest of this section that I'm about to read, and then I'm gonna end it. Okay. 2 days after the worst of the blizzard, the plow, the plow, the plow trucks were clearing and salting the streets. The sun was shining and suggesting winter might finally be coming to a close, and Will received three phone calls. The first was from Lou. How you holding up, buddy? Lou exclaimed on into her. Lou exclaimed into the phone before Will could even say hello. I'm doing okay. Allison seems to be getting better as well. I think my brother is going home pretty soon too. Now that he can, I know he might. I know he meant to only be here for a day or two, but the snow had other plans. Plus, I think he's enjoying the little vacay from work and his old lady. Isaac was sitting across the kitchen table from Will as he spoke and flipped his little brother a middle finger and a grin. That's great, great stuff. Any word from the law? Have they said they any leads? Nope, nothing on release. Isaac's body. I mean Alex's body either. I already told you this, but I can start making waves on that. Light light a fire under the what light a fire under their asses. No, I'm sure it's just the snow. It slowed down everything else. May as well slow down the cops and the medical examiner too. I'll let you know if I change my mind after a beat. Will said, Lou, I know you aren't just calling to see how I'm doing. I'm like a piece of glass, Lou said. That's a window into my soul. What can I say? The people at Fox want to talk to you, might score some national coverage, give you a chance to tell your side, Alex. Allison could be on if she wanted to as well. Hell, that's what they want, but I told them I'd talk to you. I don't know. Will these people put you on the air twice when you were promoting books? I'll get a list of questions beforehand, sorry, and and it won't be live. It's pretty much it's pretty much best case scenario. You get to tell your story in a safe setting, and if stuff goes badly, we have them edit the hell out of it. Give me a day to talk to Allison, but you can tell them I'll do it once I approve those questions, of course. Great, they're going to be thrilled. I'm going to get on the horn with them. I'll get back to you soon, day or two tops. The phone clicked off, but before Will could replace it in the pocket of his jeans, it began to ring again. Christ, what now? Checking the caller ID, Will could see that it was a 206 area code. Jack, most likely. Hello. Hey, Will, do you have a couple of minutes? Yes, sir. Yeah, sure. What's going on, Jack? Will stood from the kitchen table, held a finger up to his brother to say, 1 minute, and waited, then walked into the dining room. I was able to talk to Terry and Bruce this morning. Don't freak out, but we had a meeting to discuss your issues exactly actually, because I say before I say anything else, it's all good news. So really, don't freak out. I'm good. Cool. Terry and Bruce both agreed with me that we should push your next title back a little bit, maybe maybe a quarter or two from when you normally release. So nothing crazy. I think they would have gone for it either way, but I sort of gave a nudge in that direction and they went for it. I didn't mention that you weren't writing right now. I assumed they would think you weren't writing because of what happened, but I didn't say you were kind of I didn't say you were kind of stonewalled before that. Here's where it gets really good. Terry still wants you to get something to her when you normally do. But we'll have a ton more time to work out the kinks. If you get in by the middle of summer, you'd most likely be looking at a fall release next year. I think that should be totally doable, writer's block or not, and it should give you a way to escape from reality for a bit. The other great part is that if the next book is as good as your first, Terry will likely negotiate an advance with you now. Don't quote me on that, but we all feel terrible about what happened, and none of us want it to affect your ability to produce new work, or need to take time away from doing what you love, but something that isn't your fault. I appreciate that, Jack, and the possibility of an advance, that's awesome. Will, we want you to do well. This is enough to go through, not to mention writing. That said, dude, That said, do you need to give us something when we can work with? You need to produce something awesome, something that works within the gene, I mean, within the genre that you found success in. We both know you can, we both know you can write, but you need to stay focused. I love that last thing, but it was way off the reserve of the reservation in terms of what people have come to expect from you. I got I got that, Jack. Once this is a little more settled, I'll get back to the keyboard. Good. That makes me super happy. Get through this and get to writing. You've done it before, you'll do it again. Just because the last one was no good doesn't mean we don't want more than you, or that some crazy Norse god took all your stories away. You're a good writer and writers write. Thanks, Jack, for everything. I can't say that enough. When I'll let you know when this is over. Will hung up the phone trying to flush the tears from his eyes. Jack was 100% correct. It was time to get back to the keyboard, and instead of whining about writer's block, to start telling stories. He'd picked writing as a way to get out of a dead end of a job and dead end for a life, and to throw away something he accomplished wasn't only unreasonable, it was childish. The phone ringing a third time interrupted his thoughts and made him almost throw the thing to the floor. Will didn't recognize the number and almost ignored the call. Then he remembered what Jason had said about calling on a burner, a throwaway cell with a number he couldn't recognize. Let Hello, meet me tonight. Bring what you brought the other day. Jason hung up before Will could even attempt to attempt to respond, and it wasn't until the phone was back in his pocket that he realized Jason had meant for him to bring a gun. Isaac, I need to talk to Allison for a few minutes. Isaac stood. His brother had gone pale, and before he could disguise it, Allison saw him. Turning to Will, he could tell that she had been waiting all along for the other shoe to drop. It is it bad news? She asked, and Isaac fled to the basement. I'm not sure I can take much more of that. I suppose you'll tell me either way, though. This is good news and bad news, said Will. Mostly good, but a little bad. At least you made. It looks like there will be a delay on my next book. Once I get around to writing, editing, and submitting it, of course, it sounds like they want to avoid any negative publicity that Alex's situation could send my way. That sounds okay, right? Except I have no idea who or what I'll be writing about. Will considered telling her about the possible events, finally deciding against it. It could be better not to not to play with not to play with her feelings over something that might not happen. But none of that matters. They still want to see work from me, and if it's up to oh yeah, and if it's up to snuff, remote and publish it. If if anything, the delay is a good thing. It will take me time to write and really play with what I want my third book to be. I have to imagine that bottles sold enough that there will be people out there actually expecting something from the next Will Daniels book. As weird as that is to actually come right out and say that all sounds great, Will, and of course people are waiting for your next one. The other thing though is not as pleasant. The light that had risen in her eyes went out, just like that, and he wondered if anything that might have to do in the following weeks, days, or even hours could be given. Forgiven. Alright, y'all, last 2 pages. Isaac and I went and met up with an old friend on the grocery trip during the blizzard the other day. He's a friend from when I was still trouble, or at least thought I was trouble. This guy though, he was the real deal then, and he still is now. I asked him if he could get me any information on who had hurt Alex, and he said he would call if he was able to. We already had a set time and place to meet, so all he had to do was call on the day he wanted to meet if he had any information. And he called you? Yes, he did. So what are you going to do? I'm going to meet up with him and hoping Isaac will come with me. I know you're going to meet with him. I'm not an idiot. It's of it's obvious set to do you're set to go do something. I mean, if he can get you info and show you who hurt Alex, then what are you going to do? I don't know yet. I suppose I'd want to turn them into the police, but I'm not sure that would even be an option. I know that Wixom, when, well, I don't know, Wixom, the guys, the guy who's helping us would never have gotten involved if there were even a possibility of police involvement. Will, do you think the police are going to catch the men who killed our son? No, do you? No, I don't. That makes me feel very weak and also very scared, but I don't think they will. I think that even if they do, it will be an accident. They thought about that together. Eyes locked, and then she said, I guess I mean is, I want you to be safe, and I don't want you to do anything you'll regret every time you close your eyes. But she swallowed, and still came into her eyes. I want those men punished. If that means that you and your brother need to call every old hood that you know from some long buried little black book, do it. You do it. Those men killed my son. Alright, y'all. So I'm gonna stop right there because that was a lot, and I don't want this live to be too long like the other one. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with any and everybody. Let me know what your girl is doing on this channel, and I'll see y'all. In the next. I'll see y'all in the next freaking video. It's your girl, Big Nique TV. Gang, gang, gang.